At this point, whoever walks off the point is gonna lose. So if they go for the cheeky hook shot, they're gonna have to be really... Oh! They tried to? MrRoboto popping off! Hello?
He doesn't need that point.
He doesn't need the point. He can hook shot up, get the angle, take him out anytime. MrRoboto, Gage, the newest player to the UNM esports team, is now going to 1v1 against Isaac's, who just won against Alex Oiranet Tenorio. Here we go. First map, Necropolis. Now we've got McCree versus McCree. This is good. If I'm not mistaken, MrRoboto plays a fair bit of McCree, so this is in his favor. There we go. MrRoboto going over to where Kevin originally spawned, or Isaac's originally spawned, taking the high ground. Kevin, Isaac's taking the middle high ground. They both see each other and are taking pot shots. However, none have yet to actually get a shot off.
Get him now.
There we go. First point goes to Kevin. Isaac's.
Now, I know I went for Kevin last game, but honestly, I'm gonna have to vote for MrRoboto this time around.
I actually also have a lot of faith in MrRoboto. Yes.
So, anybody wants to place those bets? I have another 5 on MrRoboto.
MrRoboto taking the high ground above his spawn immediately, hoping to get the angle. Now sees where Kevin is. Kevin now knows that MrRoboto is on the high ground. Either trying to find the angle right now. Kevin is just waiting behind the wall, hoping MrRoboto backs off, leaves him alone. So hopefully, I'm assuming Isaac's would want to reposition from here. It's a very, very bad angle to be taking. That being said, peeks out, tries to get the shot off on MrRoboto, misses. MrRoboto, now seeing where he is. Kevin, or Isaac's, hook shotting in, gets the headshot off like an Owl Pro. Amazing.
Fight.
Here we go, Ash versus Ash, both coach gunning out of the spawn, moving towards the inner building, or the center building.
Oh, they can't see the outlines, huh? Okay.
No, they can't.
He was like, why did he shoot him?
Both coach gunning onto the second story of the building, or the roof of the building, trying to get the shots off. Kevin getting shot, or Isaac's getting shot in the head first, so MrRoboto is at the advantage here, but he gives up the high ground, hoping to coach gun right back up and take the angle. MrRoboto now with the high ground advantage. Isaac's coach getting up, trying to take the shot, but misses. Both are now right next to each other, firing point blank, trying to get the headshot off. Kevin does actually get the headshot off on Isaac's. I mean, Isaac's does get the headshot off on MrRoboto. So it's a very even match. Next person to get the headshot does take the round. Both are very scared to take the angle and risk it. As you can see, they're playing very passively now. Kevin just hoping to get any information on where MrRoboto is located. MrRoboto inside the building, tried to coach gun up onto the roof, but accidentally missed. Unfortunate, because they both would have seen each other and ended it right there. That being said, Isaac's is now on the second story of the middle building. Gets the angle. MrRoboto, quick on the draw, quickly takes out Isaac's.
Fight.
Widowmaker versus Widowmaker. Now this is actually a good matchup, because they both play Widow. Kevin, or Isaac's, taking a very stealthy approach in the center building, crouched down. MrRoboto moving over on top of Kevin's spawn, but gets headshotted in a beautiful, beautiful hook shot.
Oh,
Omar.
Mooks. Yeah, what's up, man?
I didn't get it. My Widowmaker game was cleaner than my Ash game. It didn't make any sense. Kevin had a stronger McCree, and I went even on him with Widow. It was weird.
Both McCrees right out the bat and leaving out of spawn.
No, I don't know. You guys' McCree was even, definitely for sure. But I think your Ash was just outplaying his, and I think he had way more control as a Widow on you.
Isaac's getting the first shot off on MrRoboto.
On me than Ash.
Oof. Isaac's, thinking he was being stealthy, was actually inside of MrRoboto's sights the whole time. Got headshotted. Very close round. At this distance, any headshot I believe could kill, or maybe MrRoboto would survive, but I'm not exactly sure. Kevin playing very defensively here, hoping not to get shot. That being said, he actually decides to come out of the building. Both are firing at each other. MrRoboto with the high ground advantage. But got headshot by Isaac. The turnaround.
My goodness. See, this is what easily decides these McCree matchups. Like when we saw Alex versus Kevin, they just ran towards each other, try to barrel stuff each other. But now that they're rotating and placing each other, it's I don't know. I'm gonna shut up now.
Dude, I might be second best on the team then.
Mr. Roboto coming out of spawn. Kevin 2. Kevin immediately taking the coast. Mr. Roboto or Ice Axe staying very still. Coach gunning up onto the roof of his spawn. Mr. Roboto rotating to the top of the spawn too, hoping to get the angle. Both see each other. Both are taking shots. Ooh, an easy clap from Mr. Roboto, taking out Ice Axe in 2 clean headshots back to back.
That was pretty good.
Very good.
Widowmaker.
Have to be very careful here. As we can see from the previous rounds, Ice Axe has been able to get those hook shots off really well on the Mr. Roboto. We're going to see if something very similar plays out here. Ice Axe. Ooh! Ooh! Clapped him right back. Mr. Roboto hook-shotting and taking out Ice Axe as revenge for every time that Ice Axe has done it to him. Here we go. Both McCree's coming out of the spawn, taking pot shots, both missing. Mr. Roboto trying to take a very clean angle, hoping that as Ice Axe peeks out, he could just immediately shoot them. That being said, Ice Axe rotated into the building, hoping to come all the way around and get the angle off. Oh, they both see each other now. They're both firing. Oh, Mr. Roboto got hit first. Very close match right now. If Kevin gets another headshot, he could possibly take this round and win the map. Kevin, though, on the high ground has a very good advantage. Ooh, unfortunate. Dings Mr. Roboto. Took him out. All right, map 1 going to... I forget who won it. Ice Axe. There we go.
I don't remember who won it. Let's just restart the match. 0-0. I still think Mr. Roboto can come around.
Oh, definitely. It was a very close match.
Fight.
First round, Eco Point Antarctica, both playing McCree, trying to take each other out. Both on the high ground right now, trying to get the angle on each other. They're about to see each other.
Though, so he's gonna do better.
A good observation from.
That's like 13% headshot accuracy right there. See, Kevin's inting by looking at the ground. Oh, never mind, we're good.
Both seeing each other, both trying to hit each other. Mr. Roboto actually got hit in the head first, giving Ice Axe the advantage. Oh, actually, it's very even right now. Anyone could take this. Whoever opens the angle and takes the shot first. They're both trying very hard. Mr. Roboto, Ice Axe. Who gets it? Who gets it? Who's going to get the next headshot? Both are very aggressive about this, trying to take the angle and get the shot off. Both are missing very much, which is kind of disappointing.
Well, McCree's hard to close up.
I agree, but like, wow.
Or 1v1, with headshots only? It's hard.
The pillar humping is real. The line of sighting.
I think Roboto's playing the line of...
Wanna live.
Roboto knows his mechanics better. He's playing the one. He's playing the angles how you should be.
100% agree. Do you see what he's doing on the truck here? Trying to... He got it! Ice Axe getting the drop on Mr. Roboto. Goops it up! Goops it up! He had every advantage. He took him from the side. Mr. Roboto didn't even know. He had the first shot advantage, but ended up missing. Mr. Roboto reacting quickly, was able to take Ice Axe out. A decisive victory.
I definitely... Okay, so at first I thought Mr. Roboto messed up by jumping down, but... Kevin just follows him down instead of keeping that high ground position. And he just loses the advantage, and it cost him the game. It cost him that round.
Oh, here we go. Both playing Ash, both on the high ground. Ice Axe actually rotating down. Mr. Roboto following him. Both are right next to each other, trying to take point-blank shots, trying to get the angle. Mr. Roboto gets the first headshot off. If he gets one more, then Ice Axe is down for the round. Both are firing point-blank, both missing. Both very disappointing.
Shoots in the air, slams back down. Won't suspect this. Kevin's holding his corners too tight. Can we have coaching?
Very dangerous peek. Whew.
Oh man,
peek.
Mr. Roboto, Ice Axe, both 1 health. Ice Axe with the high ground advantage, trying to take the angle on Mr. Roboto, but to no avail.
I feel like he's gonna end up doing the same thing here. If he does, I think
Roboto's gonna hit this.
Oh, here comes Ice Axe rotating around, actually deciding not and backs out. Very funny. Mr. Roboto probably had his hopes up there.
Yeah, there we go.
30 seconds.
Mr. Roboto taking the aggressive angle. Coach guns out from behind that truck. Actually takes out Kevin. Or Ice Axe. If it were Ice Axe, he probably shouldn't have given up that high ground there, because wow. This map is definitely in Mr. Roboto's favorite, which is very ironic, because he said that he did not like this map at all. Mr. Roboto staying on the high ground, actually peeks Kevin first, takes the shot, hits Kevin in the head first, both of which are on high ground, trying to take these shots on each other. Both have headshot each other once now. That being said, they're both just above half health.
Kevin's at a disadvantage here, though.
Definitely.
He worked out. He did tricep pull downs today, man. I'm not kidding. It actually made a difference. We were talking about it.
MrRoboto on the high ground. Ice Axe following in after him. MrRoboto hiding behind this pillar, trying to see what angle Kevin's doing. They're both just staring at each other, trying to see who would be the aggressor.
High quality BM people.
High quality.
My favorite game in Ring Around. And he gets the shot.
MrRoboto popping off against Kevin. Ash versus Ash here. We see Ice Axe coming out of the spawn. Jumped to the high ground, hoped to peek something. Didn't. Went up the stairs though. Got the headshot off on MrRoboto though. MrRoboto on this high ground
Nice headshot.
was not able to catch Ice Axe in time. That being said, they both see each other. MrRoboto peeking out from behind cover, probably not to his advantage. Very much not to his,
Yeah,
his
those shifts
advantage.
are really scary.
Mhm.
I don't know why.
Peeking out from that angle.
Widowmaker.
Very unfortunate.
Fight.
Ooh, both inside this side building. Kevin hook shots out from the ground and gets the headshot off on MrRoboto. MrRoboto very close to death. Drops down to the low ground. Both try to fire each other. Both miss. MrRoboto is very much at a disadvantage here. If he wants to get this, to win this round, he's going to get a fully charged headshot off. It's the only way right now. Kevin hook shotting up, trying to get an angle. Didn't get anything. Still on the high ground though. MrRoboto hiding behind this building on the low ground. Getting inside of the building and hook shotting up. Didn't see Kevin, I don't think, but Kevin does know where MrRoboto is. MrRoboto on the low ground got shot at, but Kevin did miss. MrRoboto trying to get the cheeky hook shot. Let's see if he makes it. Did not, because Kevin went behind cover. Or Ice Axe went behind cover. Ooh, MrRoboto hook-shotting onto the high ground, both of which are at one shot from death. Kevin more so than MrRoboto, but it's very close right now. Both are trying to get the angle, both are trying to get the shot off. Point-blank shots, everyone missing. MrRoboto hooking up onto the high ground, drops back down to the low ground actually though.
Kevin should play high ground here.
MrRoboto trying to open up the angle, actually goes inside of the building, hoping to get the slide flank off on Kevin. Ice Axe. Ice Axe actually catches it and was able to rotate in time. Both of which are trying very hard to get this angle right now in the center point. At this point, whoever walks off the point is going to lose. So if they go for the cheeky hook shot, they're going to have to be really... Oh! They tried to? MrRoboto popping off! Hello?
He doesn't need that point.
He doesn't need the
needs
point.
a point.
He can hook shot up, get the angle, take him out anytime. Both see each other. Both miss their shots though. MrRoboto doing some cheeky movements to make sure he doesn't get shot. Ice Axe did get nailed on the head. So it looks like it's in MrRoboto's favor.
GM level movement. I'll have you know that.
Both are just playing around this pillar. It seems like every McCree round is devolving into this, trying to see who gets the headshot. Kevin gets the headshot off on MrRoboto. It's very close right now. Whoever gets the next headshot will take this round. That being said, if MrRoboto does, he wins the map. MrRoboto is trying really hard. I bet he really wants it right now. He wants this map. There he goes, and he takes it.
The map.
Almost a clean sweep. 5-1.
And you know they both have good shots, but it's just coming down to MrRoboto really knows how to play around this infrastructure. You know, fucking my bad. Kevin, he's just really making a lot of those pushes and just trying to get the kill, not really thinking about his positioning as much, except when they're pillar humping that McCree round. But if it keeps like this, MrRoboto's taking the next map really easily.
Well, let's see what map 3 has in store for us. The map being Necropolis again. What do you know?
Battle.
First round,
McCree
McCree versus McCree.
Fight.
Okay, here we go. Both McCrees coming out of the spawn. MrRoboto and Ice Axe. Taking shots, but both missing. MrRoboto actually rotated up onto the high ground, gave it up, got headshot by Ice Axe. Ice Axe is at the advantage right now. MrRoboto doing some cheeky movements, hoping to not get shot. Ooh, very close shot. Ooh, unfortunate. Ice Axe taking the first point for this map.
0-1.
Ooh, both Ashes coming out of spawn. MrRoboto being very defensive, staying in his. Kevin coming out all the way out to the center, trying to get the angle off. Both rotating around this pillar, trying to get the angle. No one has any idea where they are. There we go. MrRoboto getting the first shot off on Ice Axe. Both are trying very hard. Mr. Roboto, coach gunning up into the air, trying to get the angle, but missing. Both are right next to each other, trying to point-blank shot. Everyone missing every shot. Mr. Roboto just has to get one headshot off on Ice Axe at this point in order to take the round. Mr. Roboto, coach gunning up onto the high ground of the spawn. Missing and then jumping off, though. Both are trying very hard right now. Point-blank shots coming in. Ice Axe, Mr. Roboto. Trading fire here. Mr. Roboto got headshot by Ice Axe. It's tied up right now. Whoever gets this next headshot takes the round. Mr. Roboto, coach gunning up at the air. Got headshot by Ice Axe.
Score.
Unfortunate.
Once again, these peaks, they both do it, and it's really scary. I don't know why.
That was a case of
Every time
human
they go
skeet
for
shooting
them,
right there.
They lose it.
Fight.
Expecting the Widowmaker to take the high ground of the center building, Mr. Roboto is doing. However, Kevin actually rotated, or Ice Axe actually rotated onto the high ground of his own spawn. Both know where each other are now. Mr. Roboto might try and reposition. He does have a good... Whoa! Oh, no! Oh, no! Unfortunate! Mr. Roboto rotating onto the high ground of the spawn. However, Ice Axe is being the aggressor and chasing after him. Both use their dodge roll. Both get a headshot off. Whoever gets this next headshot wins the round. Ooh, first point for Mr. Roboto for this map. There we go. Both Ashes coming out of spawn. Mr. Roboto got shot in the head by Ice Axe, so Ice Axe definitely has the advantage here. Mr. Roboto rotated onto the roof of the center building, hoping to get the angle off on Ice Axe. However, Ice Axe is playing it very stealthily, stealthing through the building, trying to get a sneaky angle off on Mr. Roboto. And it looks like it almost worked. Mr. Roboto rotated to the low ground, whereas Ice Axe taking the high ground. They traded positions. However, Ice Axe dropped down. They're now going after each other. Oh, Mr. Roboto taking shots off on Kevin, but still missing them. Very close right now. Ice Axe staying right next to the pit. Actually, coach guns up onto the same ground as Mr. Roboto. They're taking shots off on each other. Ice Axe, Mr. Roboto going at it. Both are one shot from death.
Score.
Ice Axe taking the point.
1.
Headshots,
Nice,
Mr. Roboto.
Good, good.
Well, according to the Keikaku.
Widowmaker.
I'm just saying, Ronnie. I almost beat Kevin, and I haven't been playing hit scan.
Match point.
I've been relegated off tank this whole time. My power levels are base.
There we go. Mr. Roboto and Ice Axe on Widowmaker. Both are at the center building, waiting to see who pops out, who does what. Mr. Roboto hooked onto the high ground. Ice Axe quickly following too. Both are now in a heated engagement, except Mr. Roboto dropped from the high ground, down under the building. Hook shots from the pit, in the building, back onto the roof. Oof! Got headshot by Ice Axe though. Man, that Ash round. I for sure thought Mr. Roboto would have it. He had such an advantage. He had the shot up on Kevin for the longest time, but unfortunately was not able to follow up and get that second shot in.
Fight.
So for potentially the winning point for Ice Axe or Kevin, or for the follow-up, or to tie it up for Mr. Roboto, we're doing this map, which is Black Forest. First round, both McCree. Mr. Roboto taking a very... Hello?
You really needed that hit there.
A very stealthy approach, but unfortunately did not get the shot off on Kevin. Kevin did get the shot off on Mr. Roboto, stayed on the high ground, and was able to follow up at a different angle later on.
Battle.
As someone who I've been praising for good positioning, that was a really bad decision to position both times.
Okay, second round, both Ash. Ice Axe taking
Kevin
a really
coach gunned
aggressive...
over that was smart.
Yeah. Ice Axe taking a really aggressive angle, rotates all the way around to the coast. Whereas Mr. Roboto was staying in front of his spawn, hoping to get hoping to just peek Ice Axe at all. That being said, the fight is developing now. Ice Axe rotated into the building. Has the surprise on Mr. Roboto. Mr. Roboto doesn't know where Ice Axe is. Oh! Ice Axe gets the first shot off. Coach guns up, misses the shot, unfortunately. Mr. Roboto probably really scared right now as he's one shot away from death. Both are trying really hard to take this engagement, changing up the angles, trying to peek from different sides of the tree trunks here. MrRoboto trying to shoot around this generator to take down Ice Axe, missing every shot. Very unfortunate. Ice Axe just needs to get the one shot off on MrRoboto. Will this be like the round on the Necropolis that MrRoboto wasn't able to get the follow-up shot?
Good decision from Kevin there, not re-peeking, honestly.
Great decision from Kevin there, using his coach gun to fire up into the ceiling. Here he goes. The fight's devolving. They're fighting on this, like, almost open field. MrRoboto hiding behind the ruins of this vehicle thing, trying to get the angle on Ice Axe. Actually manages to headshot him once. Coming down to the wire capture point unlocks in 3 seconds. MrRoboto having to take the aggressive position here in order to get onto the point. They're both firing at each other, both trying very hard, both missing every shot. Ice Axe fires up into the air, misses. MrRoboto reloading, wildly whipping his head around, hoping not to get shot. Both are firing, point blank, missing every shot. Point goes to Ice Axe.
0-2.
And Kevin taking really aggressive, going all the way around, but is now on top of the ruined vehicle part on the high ground. MrRoboto also on the high ground, but more in front of his spawn. Both, I don't think, know where each other are, trying to get the angle, trying to see where each other are. Have no idea. Oh, now they peek each other. MrRoboto saw Ice Axe, got the first shot, but missed. Both getting shots and missing, but Ice Axe did actually manage to headshot MrRoboto. Both are one shot away from death now. MrRoboto firing, running.
Oh, it's close shot.
If it were MrRoboto, he should probably take the high ground advantage. Oh. Ice Axe really not giving up this high ground. MrRoboto rotating up though. They're going to meet onto the same area. Taking shots, but both missing. Ice Axe. Ooh.
Great.
Point for
Just
MrRoboto.
2-1.
I really like a lot of the MrRoboto's movement. He's trying to protect his hitbox
Battle.
anywhere he goes, and maybe it's not doing much, but I feel it's doing something, really throwing off Kevin.
Now for the 4th round, we have both on Widowmaker. MrRoboto positioning himself on the high ground of the corner of the map. Looks like Kevin does sort of know that he's there, peeking out the windows, trying to get the angle. However, he was at the other window. Oh! A clean shot. Oh,
3-1.
very clean from from Ice Axe there.
Battle.
Good,
Ash.
Kevin, good.
5th round, we've got both on Ash. Kevin, of course, taking the high ground. MrRoboto rotating up a little bit late. However, Kevin did not get the first shot off. Kevin aggressively jumping around the corner, trying to get the shot, both missing on each other. Oh! I didn't even know you could do that. MrRoboto getting shot in the head first by Ice Axe. Ice Axe at the advantage. MrRoboto, coach gunning up. MrRoboto at the high ground advantage. However, he has the health disadvantage. And unfortunately,
Score.
it didn't
He
work
really
out for him.
needed to back out and just try reposition across the map, maybe.
Definitely seemed like that. He could
Very
manage to get the
dangerous
flank off and
battle.
even up that health disadvantage he was at. However, he was not able to, and it
Match
really
point.
didn't pay off in the end. It really backfired.
Kevin
can
with
see-
the match point here.
Every round here, MrRoboto keeps trying to peek through the ruins to get a shot off, but he has never taken anything close to a shot there. Ooh! Oh! I wasn't even, like, tuned in on the character to see that. However, Kevin got the headshot off on MrRoboto. I assume it was a very clean one. Well, there you have it. 3-1. Kevin, or Ice Axe, wins the 1v1. Both against Alex, Oirenet Scenario, and MrRoboto. I don't know his last name.
Wow.
Kevin defending his position, showing us why he's our main hit scam player.
Main hit scan.
You want to challenge him to a rematch?
Dude, how bad. Ronnie, why are you talking like an old man?
Thank you, Alex.
No problem.